think just being able to be up close on him and just see his real toughness, see his everyday. And then to see somebody that was in front of me, like in the neighborhood, be in high school games doing the same thing, and then go to college and, do the same thing. A lot of times people have success, locally, or at certain levels, but as they go, a lot of people can't sustain it and keep being great. And he was the first person for me that I was like really watching as a kid that I saw go to each level and carry that Oakland spirit. He performed at every level, and I think that just made it different for me. The fact that I saw him from the jump, and then I saw him do things that I aspired to do.
Wemby talked a lot about playing really hard in this game, going all out. Did you see that from him? And do you think the intensity overall was good in this format?
I thought he played how he plays in the game. Seriously, like when I saw him, I was like, he was not messing around. And one time he got fouled, the ref didn't call it, and he got mad. But he knows one way, and you can tell that he's gonna play that way every time. Obviously, the intensity wasn't like a playoff game tonight, but it was definitely better than it has been, for some years now.
Some stakes to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dan, in a game like this where you're playing to a set, a certain score total, not four quarters, did it generate any kind of feelings of back playing to pick up ball or playing apart, things like that?
If anything, I think it picked up the urgency. It was like you can't just be giving away layups. I think over the last couple of years, you see guys just walking in, laying the ball up, just kind of free for all. And our number one message was like, they got to make shots. Like, we not letting dudes just walk in here and lay the ball up. And I think naturally that made you have to just put a little bit more into the game.
Do you like this format, or you want to see a change? Or some people talking USA versus the global stars, or what do you think?
I don't know. I think if you turn it into that, you still got to have 24 All-Stars. You don't want to bump out more American players just to have the rosters be even. That should be in an All-Star game. I think the format was solid. I think it would probably be more interesting instead of maybe the Rising Stars team doing it. Maybe the players with the next most amount of votes, or the next most amount of votes from coaches that got snubbed. Maybe that other team of 8 should be made up of those guys and go from there. I think that would create, some entertainment, for guys that couldn't.
Last year, though?
I'm a fan of the original way, East versus West. Just put more on the line, just heighten the incentives and
like
do East versus West.
Incentive is what we're talking about.
I mean, that's something that I'm sure would get people going, but I'm not suggesting it. I think whatever it could be, whoever wins East or West is, getting home court in the finals, or whatever, baseball or something. I mean, it could be anything, but if it's some type of incentive, I think East-West is the best way to me.
Okay, then do you felt any kind of pressure to win because you are with the OG team with Stephen Curry and you play against a Rising Star?
I think it was a little bit of pressure to make sure we didn't get beaten that first game. Especially with that name, like Shaq's OGs. When you look at our roster, it's a lot of guys that have been doing this 13, 14, 15 years, at this level. And of course, you're going to have some pride about it. Even though it's an all-star game, you're not going to roll out there and just lose and get beat. We didn't want that to be part of our story, regardless of how light it is. And, we was able to come out and get both.
Dame, a couple guys said that they didn't enjoy that format whatsoever. How did you feel about it?
I wasn't mad at it. I think, like I said, I'm more of a fan of the just straight up East versus West, 2 halves of basketball, and then that's it.
Why do you think we've gotten to this point where we have to come up with gimmicks and stuff every year to make the game interesting?
I think because you want to try to create some interest in the game instead of just watching us go up and down layups and just almost not play a competitive game at all. But I think it has a little bit to do with the way the game is. The game is faster. I think that's why we're seeing, more injuries happening. The game is faster. It's more up and down, and the pace is up higher than it's ever been. The style of play, I think, is just wearing on guys' bodies. So the break is so deep into the season. You know, we got less than 30 games left, so our bodies are constantly breaking down over the course of a long season. So at this point, you come into the break, we trying to get into the playoffs healthy. You know, I don't think it's a matter of guys not caring. It's just so much pressure on this guy didn't win, and they need to do this, they need to do that. So we want to be our best for that, you know. And you don't want to go out there and get hurt, you know, when it's really nothing on the line. That's why I say if it's more incentivized or something like that, then maybe, you know, you'll see guys go out there and just play. But I think one of the things that could make it better is to kind of move All-Star Weekend up closer to, you know, the start of the season, like the actual midpoint, because right now, like I said, you coming back out of the break with 29 games left, and we want to get in that playoff healthy, you know. So I mean, I think that could be an adjustment too. My favorite part of the weekend is just being amongst the best players in the game, and all of the festivities that come with being a part of All-Star, you know. Bringing your family gets to get a peek behind the curtain of, you know, what our lives are really like. You know, they know what it's like from a beneficiary standpoint. They don't always get to be there for, you know, everything. So them being able to come when we're doing media, they come to practice, and they come to the games, they come to the All-Star Saturday, they got access to things in the hotels, they seeing all the other families. It's just it's a great thing to be able to have your family be a part of, to get a look into, you know, what our world is.
Dave, you kind of looked last year All-Star, and based on the first semifinal, you were one of the names that were being considered for it tonight. There's maybe no natural MVP because of the format. What did you think of the run that Steph went on, you know, to be the guy to win it?
I mean, I think anytime you're going to look at an MVP, you want to look at what jumped out. In this type of format, nobody's going to have 50 points or 30 points. It's going to be hard to do it unless you shoot every time and make every shot. But you look at what jumps out. You know, when was the crowd the loudest? What you know, jumped off the floor? And that's probably who your MVP is going to be. So watching the game, it was like, I'm pretty sure Steph is about to win this MVP. You know, even though I don't know how many points he had, but it couldn't have been that much. But I think it's, you know, it was the eye test. You know, I didn't even look at the scoreboard, but I'm like, if I got to guess who it is in this situation, I would assume it was Steph, and it was.
How much of a statement did you guys make, Dave, by getting off to an 11-1 run or start?
I think anytime you can start off and get a cushion like that, you're going to feel good. And we were making shots. So a game to 40 with the type of players that we had on our team, and you see the ball go in a couple times, like, good luck catching us.
Damian, I tracked down that young man who hit the shot, and he wasn't even supposed to be here today. His dad waited till the tickets went to a price he could afford. He's a college freshman. This is going to really help his future. Can you imagine? I mean, the clock was running down, and he banked one in.
Yeah. I mean, coming into it, you know, they asked me to do it, and I knew that it would be a win-win situation. You know, I knew that it would be helpful for my scholarship partnership that I just started, and I knew it would be extremely helpful to someone else. And that was the reason I did it. I went out there and I made the first two, and you know, I'm not gonna say I lost on purpose, because I didn't. I was trying to make the shot, but I was, you know, putting a little, trying to make get a quality make or whatever. But I was just happy to see his real excitement. You know, that's life changing for somebody. You know, like you said, he wasn't even supposed to be here. Just get pulled on the floor, and then like it was dramatic. He like made it as the clock was going off. I love being a part of stuff like that. You know, where you can impact somebody else.
You talked about the weekend. What was it like being back in the Bay Area, you know, being in Oakland yesterday and then here playing in San Francisco today?
It was great, you know, just seeing so many familiar faces, being around loved ones, and sharing this entire experience with my people at this stage of my career. Overwhelming at times, you know, just, I really grew up here, you know, a lot of people just that want to show love and they want to support, you know, it can be a lot. But overall, you know, I'm just happy that I was able to have this experience and be back here again.